if you would, please just introduce yourself and then just tell me a little bit of something about yourself.
My name is Graham Laughton, and I was in the insurance business, general insurance, not financial or not life.
Right. And Donna?
Donna Laughton, and besides being a homemaker some of the time, I work for Strathcona County in a
Fantastic.
financial
That's great.
accounting position.
And so how long have you both been working with Jerry?
We have been working with Jerry since 1988, when he first got into the business, because he joined a person we dealt with in life insurance.
Right. So you met through a common...
Yeah, it was Cease
call.
Blackburn who had a general agency.
And so what made you continue with your work with Jerry and invest with him?
Just a pleasant person to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
We talk to him twice a year, or if there's something comes up, he keeps us informed.
Yep. Cool. And so, in terms of your interaction, so he's kept you informed. Do you have other choices in terms of your financial planning, or do you deal mostly with Jerry and Lifetrek, or?
Recently, I have, my mother passed away last year, and I have recently inherited, and so some of the money I have left in Ontario with the company that was looking after it.
Yeah.
So, but I have shared the information with both of them, so
Yeah.
they're both aware
Yeah.
to help me plan
Yeah.
of what the investments are on both sides.
And so what helps? How does Jerry stand apart from maybe other experiences you've had? What does he excel at?
I think the personality and the easygoing, relaxed. We can ask anything. He will tell us what he thinks. He tries to keep us in line with or adjust our investments, every year as the market changes and as our needs change as well.
And so what does that do for you when you know that you can ask him questions?
Makes us feel
basically,
confident.
We've got a confidence in him, and we have a slow and steady growth. We don't go up or down. We don't like big changes. How's that sound?
Right.
And as long as it's on the positive side, we're happy.
Right. So you're referring to something like volatility, or what do you mean by the changes?
Volatility, but he invests with our input in not high risks investments and not guaranteed investments either. So where he feels it's a stable market, and that's what we need. We haven't been, I'm going to say, the high flyers, or stepping into here, going in there, doing things like that. Small growth, but steady growth at a pace over than what the bank gives you.
Right. So what I'm hearing is that there's something stable, but it isn't just the low, sort of steady eddy stuff. There is an investment piece to it.
Oh, yes, investment piece
Yeah.
to it. So
There was something that you mentioned that I'd like to come back to, and you said with our input. So it sounds like there's a lot of dialogue that goes on.
Yes, he asks, what we're looking for, what our plans are for the next year or two, or long term, and mostly we were looking for retirement. That's what the investments were for. That's the main goal, was to have retirement income to add on to the Canada pension, the old age security.
Right. And so having that retirement income plus the other ones, how does that impact your lifestyle?
We're going to be able to travel, which is one of our favorite things, as much as we want to, and be sure that we will have sufficient to carry on.
So I'm hearing that it gives you choices,
Yes.
and the other piece.
we are able to travel one good trip a year because of the investments we have invested at the time. And that's what we were looking for. So we're pretty happy. Okay?
Isn't that wonderful? And so when you have that choice and you have that security, and the ability then to have those trips. How does that impact other parts of your life?
We can't do too much. We're always traveling. We're doing different places. So we have a
Right.
we have a hard time trying to figure out where we want to go.
Yeah.
You know, so
And sometimes I like finding deals. I am great coupon shopper, watch for discounts, that kind of thing. Sometimes I find things and we haven't got the time. We can't do it. I said, oh, this
Right.
would be an excellent trip, but we can't
Right.
fit it in.
Right. So I'm hearing you're having a good time.
Yes.
yes,
And you're having a good time because?
we now have the financial stability to do things that we want to do, and that's what we wanted at the beginning. You know, we didn't blow things in our early careers. We saved money and used the RSPs and other investments, and now they're paying off. You know,
Right.
we didn't lose as much money as the other people did in 2008. You know, we were quite comfortable when we talked to friends that lost a lot of money in those because they were invested in higher risk investments. So ours have come back, you know, and we're quite happy. And as long as we get a little bit like that, it's at the time now that we are going to be drawing out our RSPs because we have that, and that's what it was. That's what it was for.
Yeah.
So
So I'm hearing some comfort and choice and
Yes.
freedom.
very much so.
Yes.
If we want to do something, we can.
Yeah.
You know, within the reason. We're not going to, you know, blow a whole bunch or things like that. But we had planned to make a trip every year somewhere, Yeah.
Fabulous.
and so far we've been able to do this.
So, and it was really, you said something really important there where you were talking about, yes, it you know, when things are going really well, it might not be the highest, but when things turn down, like you said in 2008,
Yeah.
that you were, protected's the wrong word, but you didn't feel as
We-
buffeted by the storm?
We weren't too worried because we've talked to other people, other friends, and they were pulling their hair out that we lost 35%, we lost 50%. You know, people lost a lot of money, and our friend said, "You only lost that amount? Oh, you're lucky. You made money then." So
So there was a little bit of just buffering.
oh yeah, a lot of buffering, and it's been good. Okay, and we still sit down. Okay, what do you think we can do? How we can do this? You know, you may not, you know, get so much, but you're protected in both ways.
Right.
You know, in fixed income and in equities.
So what does that mean for you, knowing you've got that, and what I'm hearing is stability? How does that affect your long-term planning for yourselves?
Really well, because him having private business, he didn't have a separate pension. So the RSP money is his extra pension. And I didn't have a very big one because I wasn't on a private pension plan for a long time. So this is what our income is starting to take, and he is going to start taking in the next year. So we're able to know that the money is there and that we can start taking it out and use it as we need to. And the other thing, we're able to help out with, we have 7 grandchildren, and able to help them out a little bit, sometimes with their sports or registration for those kind of things. But
When you can do that, what does that mean for you as grandparents?
Well, if they use it properly, it means great things for us. If they don't, we're mad at them.
But the fact that you can do it, I mean, what does it feel like to actually be able to do that?
it feels really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the sports activities, I think, are very, very important. And I think that it teaches them a lot, not just the physical activity. So I think it's important that they are able to participate.
So in some ways, you know, the decisions you've made with Jerry, you know, in a leadership role, has allowed you to impact a whole other generation.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Growing up, my parents couldn't help us that much, or help me that much, so I wanted, and Donna wanted to, if we can help the kids, let's try to help them, because eventually they're going to be out in the workplace working their own, and then they'll have to know how to handle it.
So that's legacy for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Any other special stories you have about Jerry or Lifetrek and the time you spent?
Really
He has
haven't
nice
had-
parties.
Do they tell me about that?
Oh, his Christmas party, a couple of them I've missed because I haven't been here. And in fact, one of them, I'd had eye surgery, and I was face down on a massage table for 2 weeks. I could not lift up. Brought over a grandson to look after me so Graham could come to the party,
And bring her back the
the Christmas party.
poinsettia. Say, good party, here's your poinsettia.
Yeah.
So there's a piece here, and you're not the first ones to share the party, but it's in some ways it sounds like Jerry's trying to build, at least in some ways, a community.
Yes.
Well, he
yes.
also, what he's doing in some of the events we've gone to, it's been a charity event as well for fundraising or something for a cause he is supporting, which is
Yeah.
good.
And he has invited us to come along on a couple
Yeah.
occasions.
So he's a contributor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a giver.
And very, very friendly, always concerned about our family and our daughters and, you know, what's going on in our lives so that we can plan what we're going to need.
You're saying something really important there, Donna, and that it sounds like, you know, part of what Jerry does in his leadership and advice to you as an investor, he's putting in the context of who you are and what your life is about.
Yes. Yes.
So you're getting, he's actually able to make informed advice to allow you to make informed decisions
Yes.
about your finances.
Yes, because he's gotten to know what our family dynamics are and what we're looking at.
Very cool.
And when we leave a meeting, we feel comfortable, you know, because he's explained what's happening in the finance world, which, you know, we're not involved in. We know where the nickels and dimes are in our bank account, but we don't know what's happening in the stock market or around the world, which can affect the investments he's put us in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So he's a real partner for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't that
Yes.
nice?
Yeah.
And you have the freedom, so you're traveling, you have some extra funds, and you're giving to a new generation now.
We have a second home in California. We don't spend the whole winter there, but very, very active and really enjoying that. And it's a small park that we're in.
So it creates a lifestyle for you that promotes your own health and well-being.
Very much
Yes.
so.
So it isn't
Yeah.
just about the
we
money.
get away from the winter, yeah, and come back, and we hope the snow is gone. It's not always
Not
that
always.
way.
It didn't happen this year. We came home on Good Friday in a real blizzard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's only happened in the past 8 years.
Yeah.
That,
And so when you think about having that healthy lifestyle based in confidence that your finances are going to be able to support you and create a legacy. Sounds like you're both fairly involved, Donna. You're involved
Yes.
in the choices as much
Yes.
as you are. So
yeah, she's more involved. She tells me what to do.
good for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's great, Graham. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so, but you make them together, and it's like the three of you together decide the path forward.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
yes.
It's neat.
Things are just talking to them
Yeah.
and saying, here's what we'd like to do next year or something like that. And okay.
So if you knew of someone who was, really trying to make a decision on where they wanted to get the support for their financial investments, what would you tell them about life? Why would you want them to come to Lifetrek?
Well, because of Jerry's personality is, what the word I'm using is caring about how to look at it, and reviewing the person's lifestyle, mostly the lifestyle, because that will decide what the person wants to do, what they can afford, what they cannot afford, when they need the money,
Mm-hmm.
and how to build on it. Yeah. So,
Not just a client number, not just somebody that, you come in and you're gone and forgot until the next meeting, so to speak, but somebody who really is involved personally.
And one other thing, Donna and I were talking about that,
Mm-hmm.
if we had a question or need something, we could phone him, and he gets back to us very quickly. If he's not in a meeting or something else, or
Right.
phones back, I'm okay. I have to look at something to answer your question.
So
that, that helps out.
you're invested in the finances, but he's invested in you.
Yes. Yeah.
Sounds like it. Very good.
Yeah. So.
Excellent feedback. Terrific. Is there anything else you want to make sure I know or that the world knows about Lifetrek and Jerry?
Well, he's done a reasonable job for us.
We trust him to keep abreast and to know all these things that we can't possibly look after or think about ourselves. There's just so much involved in the investing and the decisions and what's happening in the world that's a big job for him
It's
to
complicated,
have all
isn't
that
it?
all that knowledge and that ability. Yes.
And be able to translate that out into what's important for Donna and Graham.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's cool. Very
Yeah.
good. Great time. Thank you so much for your efforts and sharing your story.